Hello, students. So, today we'll be learning a new chapter from your Part 2 textbook, and that is The Eyes Are Not Here, written by Ruskin Bond. So, let's begin with the chapter.
I had the compartment to myself, up to Rohana, and then a girl got in. The couple who saw her off were probably her parents. They seemed very anxious about her comfort, and the woman gave the girl detailed instructions as to where to keep her things, but not to lean out of the window, and how to avoid speaking to strangers. They said their goodbyes. The train pulled out of the station.
The story begins with a man being in a compartment of a train and he was all alone. So, it was till Rohana, that is a stop, till that station, he was all alone. Then a girl got in, a new passenger entered. The couple who saw her off were probably her parents. The one who came to say her goodbye, maybe they were her parents. Now they seemed very anxious about her comfort and they were worried about her. And they started giving instructions to the girl, like keep her things, how to keep or where to keep, and don't lean out of the window, avoid talking to strangers. Then finally they said their goodbyes and the train pulled out of the station. That is, the train started.
As I was totally blind at the time, my eyes sensitive only to light and darkness, I was unable to tell what the girl looked like, but I knew she wore slippers from the way they slapped against her heels. It would take me some time to discover something about her looks, and perhaps I never would. But I liked the sound of her voice, and even the sound of her slippers.
Now, this man who was already there in the train or in the compartment, he was totally blind at that time, but he was sensitive only to light and darkness. He could know whether it is bright or dark, and he was unable to tell what the girl looked like because he was blind. He did not know how that girl looked like, but he knew she wore slippers because the way it slapped. What is slap? Slap is nothing but the sound produced by the slipper when it hits the sole of her feet. Listening to the voice, he realized that she was wearing slippers, and it would take me some time to discover something about her looks. Maybe it will never happen. Why? Because he was blind, he couldn't see the girl. But he liked the sound of her voice and even the sound of her slippers.
Are you going all the way to Dera? I asked. I must have been sitting in a dark corner because my voice startled her. She gave a little exclamation and said, I didn't know anyone else was here.
Now, this man asked the girl, are you going all your way to Dera? He is asking whether you are going to this place. Maybe this man was sitting in a dark corner, so the girl did not observe him or see him. So maybe his voice startled her. So it means that startled is nothing but surprised. So she gave a little exclamation. All of a sudden, when someone comes and tells you something and you are not expecting that person to be there, so you get a little bit surprised. So she gave a similar reaction and she said, I didn't know anyone else was here. I did not know somebody else also was there in this compartment.
Well, it often happens that people with good eyesight fail to see what is right in front of them. They have too much to take in, I suppose. Whereas people who cannot see or see very little have to take in only the essentials, whatever registers most tellingly on their remaining senses.
So he thinks to himself, maybe I think it happens almost all the time with the people who are having good eyesight. Why? Because they fail to see what is right in front of them because they have too much to take in. Why? Because they have to see every little detail. Whereas blind people like him, they don't have to take all that. They need only the main thing. So here he is thinking that maybe she couldn't see she did not observe it. Even we people, what happened? Even we normally, what do we do? we have something right in front of our eyes, but still we keep on searching, where is it, and finally we realize that it was right in front of us.
I didn't see you either, I said, but I heard you come in. I wondered if I would be able to prevent her from discovering that I was blind. I thought, provided I keep to my seat, it shouldn't be too difficult. The girl said, I am getting down at Saharanpur. My aunt is meeting me there.
So this man tells, I didn't see you either. I did not see you also, but I heard you come in. I could hear because of your slippers. So he starts thinking that he was wondering that if he was able or he will be able to prevent her from discovering that he was blind. He wanted to play a game with her. He wanted to act normal. So he thought, let's see how much I can prevent her from discovering the truth. So he says, provided I keep to my seat, it shouldn't be too difficult. So he's trying to make her comfortable there. So the girl tells that she's getting down at Saharanpur. That's a station. She's getting down there and her aunt is going to receive her. She is coming to meet me.
Then I had better not be too familiar, I said. Aunts are usually formidable creatures. Where are you going? She asked. To Dera and then to Mussoorie.
So the man says, then I had better not be too familiar. Aunts are usually formidable creatures. So he's trying to make her laugh. He's just making a joke. And what is that joke? He's telling aunts are formidable creatures. What is formidable? The ones who cause fear. So aunties are very scary. So it's better I stay away from you. He's trying to make a joke with her. So the girl asked the man, where are you going? Now he had asked her. So she asked him, where are you going? So the man replied, to Dera and then to Mussoorie. That is, he is going to Dera first and from there then he will go to Mussoorie.
Oh, how lucky you are. I wish I were going to Mussoorie. I love the hills, especially in October. Yes, this is the best time, I said, calling on my memories. The hills are covered with wild dahlias, the sun is delicious, and at night you can sit in front of a log fire and listen to some music. Many of the tourists have gone, and the roads are quiet and almost deserted. Yes, October is the best time.
So the girl replied, oh, how lucky you are. I wish I were going to Mussoorie. I love the hills, especially in October. So she's just talking about that place and she's telling, I love to go to hills, especially in October. It's very beautiful that time. So the man says, yes, this is the best time. So he's recalling his memories, the previously when he had been there. So he is recalling that and he's telling, yes, this is the best time. The hills are covered with wild dahlias. It's nothing but a flower. So it is covered with those dahlias, flowers. The sun is delicious. That is, it looks very beautiful. And at night, you can sit in front of a log fire and listen to some music. In short, he's telling that the entire weather is perfect at that time. And many of the tourists have gone and the roads are quiet and almost deserted. That is, during that time, October time, many tourists won't be there. So it is only for ourselves. We can enjoy there. It's calm and quiet.
She was silent, and I wondered if my words had touched her, or whether she thought me a romantic fool. Then I made a mistake. What's it like? I asked. She seemed to find nothing strange in the question. Had she noticed already that I could not see? But her next question removed my doubts.
Now the girl was very silent and she did not say. So he started wondering maybe she is thinking about the words that I have told, or whether she might be thinking that I'm a romantic fool because I'm talking about dahlias and the weather and everything. So he thought maybe she's thinking like that. Then he made a mistake. And what did he say? What's it like? Like, how is the scene at present? But the girl did not find anything strange in the question. Or Had she noticed already that I could not see? So all these doubts started coming in this man's brain. But her next question removed all my doubts. So it cleared all the doubts. And what did she ask?
Why don't you look out of the window? She asked. I moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. The window was open, and I faced it, making a pretense of studying the landscape. I heard the panting of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and in my mind's eye, I could see the telegraph post flashing by.
Why don't you look out of the window? She asked. Like, why are you asking me? You look out of the window and see how it's like. So, what did this man do? He moved easily along the berth. What is a berth? It is the bed or a place allotted for someone just in the trains. And he felt for the window ledge because he couldn't see. He was just trying to touch the window, and he realized that the window was open, and he started making a pretense. He started acting as if he's studying the landscape outside, and he could hear the panting of the engine, the noise of the wheels, the rumble, and in my mind's eye I could see the telegraph post flashing by. So in his mind he started thinking about that post.
Have you noticed? I ventured that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still. That always happens, she said. Do you see any animals? Hardly any animals left in the forest near Dera. I turned from the window and faced the girl, and for a while we sat in silence.
So this man asked her, ventured is asked, have you noticed that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still? So he's telling we are standing still in this place, but the trees are moving. So the girl replies, that always happens. But can you see any animals out there? There are hardly any animals left in the forest near Dera. So she is telling that you cannot find any animals now. There are very few animals that are left in the forest now. So this man then he turned away from the window and he faced the girl sitting right in front of him. And for a while they both sat in silence. They did not talk much.
You have an interesting face, I remarked. I was becoming quite daring, but it was a safe remark. Few girls can resist flattery. She laughed pleasantly, a clear, ringing laugh.
So now this man tells, you have an interesting face. Now he was becoming a little daring. He was scared in the beginning to talk anything, but now he was little not so scared. He was daring, and he made this as a safe remark. Why? It was a safe thing to tell. You have an interesting face. Because few girls can resist flattery. What is flattery? Flattery is nothing but excessive praise given to someone. Praise, admiration. So what did the girl do? She gave a very pleasant, clear, ringing laugh. She laughed at it.